Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So, as he mentioned, it will be around 45 minutes session. I'll quickly go through the Rakuten. Where do we stand as Rakuten? So, we declared our yearly result, and if we the global GTV for Rakuten Group, which owns 72 companies, is 287 billion euro, and if we look at revenue, it's about 15 billion euro. In Japan, in Rakuten is very big into all e-services, be it e-commerce. So we are number one on domestic GMS in Japan. Rakuten Card, Shopping GTV, number one. Rakuten Bank, number of accounts, we are number one. These are online accounts. Rakuten Securities, the new accounts open, we are number one. So we are capturing the market. In Rakuten Travel, in terms of app, MAU, we are number one. And favorite one on the mobile, Rakuten Mobile, which was launched in 2020. And we are in customer satisfaction, we are number one. As a group, we are present in 30 countries, almost across globe. In Barcelona, we have Rakuten TV headquarters. So last year, we achieved major milestones as a group. So after 4.5 years of investment into Rakuten Mobile, as you know, it's very capex intensive. So finally, we on gap non-gap OI, we were profitable last year. The second big thing is Rakuten Mobile. After launching in 2020, and last December, we became EBITDA positive. And finally, self-funded at the group level. Coming back to Rakuten Mobile. So what we are doing is we are changing the way networks are built, and we have done that at scale. When we entered into Rakuten Mobile, it's a three-way strategy. Of course, we want to be profitable, which we are now for Rakuten Mobile. And we are bringing a lot of ecosystem synergy with Rakuten Mobile. I'll explain and touch upon what we are doing. And finally, we acquired a couple of companies, 4 companies actually, during this journey of building the Rakuten Mobile network. And we are taking the learnings and the products globally. Rakuten Mobile, we had 4 pillars when we started in 2018. The first one was disaggregation. It's completely a disaggregated network, separation of hardware and software at scale. Second is we, right from day one, we cloudified the network. So all workloads, including RAN workloads, are sitting at the data center. Third, since we started with Open RAN and disaggregation, security was key, and we made it foolproof. And not the last one, but we started with automation, and we are at level 3.5 now in terms of automation. So what did change for customer? Okay, good enough, on technology perspective, we changed a lot. But if you look at Japan economy, the inflation increased in post-COVID about 20%. Everything, energy bills, all increased by 20%. But with Rakuten Mobile, the phone bills came down by 30%, which indirectly contributed to almost 4 trillion yen to Japanese economy, to the households. On the network side, of why we are cheaper, right? So why Rakuten Mobile can be still profitable at lower rates. So before we entered, the ARPU in Japan was close to 70 USD, and now it's around 20 USD. Why? How we can do that? One, entire, of course, the initial capex was less, and we are operating with higher efficiency. In total, we have close to 900 people in Rakuten Mobile, with around 275 working in the network team. So not just that, this is as I mentioned, at scale. We have more than 350,000 cells with 72,000 macro sites plus of 4G and 5G. This is on the network side. What we have done differently is, and we don't talk much about the transport network, but there are things which are done at scale. This is the biggest SRv6 network in the world. Also, we achieved, which is first in Asia, is 1 Tbps on transport layer. For customer, these again, these things are for network, but if in terms of for what we are offering customer today, all Rakuten mobile users, we have an application called Link, and we have integrated Link AI with that. What that means that our customer, they don't need any other AI application which are charged. So it is backed by OpenAI, and our customers can use it. The second thing is, when we started, people didn't believe that it will work. If you look at OpenSignal third-party research company report, out of the 6 categories, in 3 categories, Rakuten Mobile is global leader. It's not just in Japan, but global leader adopting the latest technology. So we have achieved what people said it not achievable. Now, what's next for us this year and next year? One thing is, as I mentioned, we are at level 3.5 in terms of autonomous network. We have to go to next level. Second is, we are targeting 15 to 20% energy efficiency in entire network side. Then third is AI telco and network monetization. As I mentioned, 3.5. So if we look at level 4, what do we need? What do we need to achieve level 4? We have implemented automatic hailing, various things which are considered in level 3. And we had completely got rid of L1 operations. But what it means for level 4? Level 4 is what we want to achieve in this year. This is about the energy savings. So various techniques, including Open RAN, including REC, including SMO, how can we minimize or optimize the energy bills? Examples, why do we need massive MIMO during the night when people are sleeping, or when there are no 5G users in suburban area, rural area, etc. So how can we use AI to predict that quickly? And it's a closed loop. How can we shut down those servers during off-peak period? This is on the RAN side. Same will be done for the core side. And not just for, for example, in Japan, we have a lot of underground trains which closes at 12. Why do we need that kind of capacity in offices, those train stations? We need coverage for emergency, but not the capacity. How can we optimize those in terms of energy bills? For all that to work, for AI to work, the key thing is single data lake. So we have on our data lake all the CDR data, which is the billing data, FCAPS data, OSS data, probe data, geolocation data. All kind of data is going to single data lake. And that's how we can use AI for various use cases. One case of how do we monetize this, and this is very important, and talking to various CEOs yesterday and today, everybody is talking about how do we monetize this. So this is from Rakuten Group, just because we have many group companies, what we see is every customer that is added to Rakuten Mobile ends up using 2.45 services from Rakuten. It's a unique ecosystem, but this can be done in other markets too. If we look at, these are the, this is what I mentioned about the monetization. If we have e-commerce business, so if someone, our subscriber, is going to our competitive website, we check it from the DPI data, we integrate it, we give it to our e-commerce team, they integrate with Insta, X, or any other social network, and give them incentive to buy it from our e-commerce platform. So this is how, not just for e-commerce, same applies for example, travel business. If someone is going to our competitive website, we understand that and give it to travel company, and they incentivize. So talking to someone today, Vicky was mentioning, why are we charging if we can monetize it in this way, which is actually bigger than connectivity cost in terms of ARPU. For Rakuten Beauty, this is like saloon booking service, or so we use geolocation data to monetize it. Going to Symphony, we added around 45 customers now in Symphony globally, and that our target is to go to 150, 100 plus in this year. In Symphony, we have four business units. The first one is the platform storage orchestrator, the complete cloud platform. Second is where we have 5G, 4G, NSA, SA, IoT software. Third is the OSS platform. And this is the key. This is what, even the data lake that I mentioned is part of this. We have to have single truth of data. Everything has to go in single data lake for AI to work. And the last is how do we expand our ecosystem? How do we, for example, we have great membership award ecosystem in Japan. How can we enable other operators? And we are talking to many group companies how we can take it to their operation. We have Rakuten Viber. How can we white label or make it useful for them? We have Rakuten TV in Europe, which is quite big, and I think all the operators are using it. This week we announced our partnership thanks to with Cisco, ASPAN, and TechM. The next session is going to be with them, with Masum, Glenn, and Mohit. This is the target for Symphony. We want to achieve this slide says 100 plus, but the progress that we are seeing, it will go to 150 plus.